As we journey from the inaugural Pro Tour stop in Florida, our travels lead us to a familiar landscape, the banks of the Brazos River in Waco, Texas. Here, amidst tranquil surroundings, lies the stage for the Waco Annual Charity Open, a tournament steeped in memorable victories, legendary throws, and the pursuit of perfection. Navigating through a labyrinth of winding woods and gusty fairways, players are met with a formidable challenge known simply as the Beast. This course has long been heralded as a test of technical mastery where precision reigns supreme. However, this year, Waco embarks on a new chapter. With different styles of play converging, the competition promises to push the boundaries of every player's skill set. Will we witness the emergence of a new prodigy? Or will history repeat itself? A new era of disc golf in Waco, Texas begins now. Hello and welcome to the 2024 Waco Annual Charity Open. You are watching round one coverage on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We're JomezPro, Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
Let's show them some new shirts we got here. We're gonna be in Texas for about a month, folks. So we want to show off a new shirt we've got dropping.
Yeah, commemorating the Texas Swing this year. 3 big events and the U.S. Women's coming through Texas. So check those out, JomezPro.com.
Nate, I gotta say, man, off the cuff, what an incredible intro. Just the poetic delivery, incredible stuff.
Yeah.
We've got a fantastic card today, as we typically always do here at the first round of an Elite Series event. Anthony Barela, reigning champion of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Kyle Klein, reigning champion of this event. And was that Paul McBeth that started it off? I didn't see the first player.
I think it was just Kyle Klein.
Oh, it was just Kyle. Okay, so we're on player number 3 here. Isaac Robinson, reigning world champion. I mean, I don't even know who could even belong on the 4th spot on this card.
It's gotta be a local. It's gotta be a local, I'm guessing.
We're gonna do... And we've got Emerson Keith rounding out the card, one of the winningest players in Texas history. He's got a new sponsor this year, so this is early in the season. We'll see how he adapts to his new discs.
Yeah, and let's get into hole 1, par 3, 291 classic starting hole here in Waco. And like usual, we have a big time head cross. It's coming from left to right. You're gonna see a lot of hyzers out wide around to try to spike it into the circle, or you can take the safe route right up the middle, which is pretty tricky.
Keep in mind, coming off a 1-hour lightning delay, kind of threw a wrench in everybody's warm-up plans.
And as short as this course is, when the wind picks up, this place is, I mean, you have to be pinpoint. And especially when you get in the woods. When the wind gets through the woods, this place is really tricky to keep your disc in the fairway.
This is always going to be your most stable disc, and this could do the little bounce forward move here. It does.
That was a somewhat awkward release. It seemed a little bit early.
Such a sharp angle on Anthony's. I mean, he didn't try to swing that thing at all. So that tells me he's worried about a crosswind.
One way to avoid the wind is just going down the middle low, but Emerson decides to go up high hyzer as well, and that also comes up short.
Third on the tee, representing disc golf, Isaac Robinson.
I think this one might be the up the middle play that we've been looking for. Going with a mid-range or a putter, I'm guessing. Looks like a mid-range.
Not a lot of places in the middle of the country, specifically Texas, that can emulate Georgia-style fairways. But if there is one spot, it's here in Waco, here at the Beast.
Representing Discmania and Grip Bags, Kyle Klein.
At 30 feet and short left, a popular landing spot for this group so far. See if Kyle can change it up.
Well, it's tough because, as you can see, the bushes are higher on the right side. And you don't want to hang it out wide because with that prevailing left to right crosswind, it can drop you. And if it drops you out over there, you can be very short out of bounds on the right. So everybody in a similar position. Here's Anthony with that step putt that he's been loving.
Dude.
He has started off
Yeah.
these tournaments with big old putts.
I think that's the thing that really stood out for me last week or 2 weeks ago. It was in Florida. His putting, it's just clear to me that that's what he's put the number one emphasis on between the 2023 season and 2024.
And it's just such a good feeling on a windy day. You're like all anxious about, oh man, the putting's going to be so tough. And then to just cash one like that.
Emerson with a little stepper off right side, a little left to right cross headwind.
Pretty good bid there. That could have hooked up to the left side, and that seems to be the usual for Isaac. Center cut right on the stripe.
A little too fast for the
Yeah.
cameras.
Yeah, and a little too far for it to be that easy as well.
This one actually got closer than I thought from our original angle, but he's only about 15 feet there. That's
Kyle pushed a lot flatter release than what
Yes.
Anthony did, able to kind of go to school on the other guys, I think, and just make sure he wasn't short.
Emerson delivers the par putt. 3 under for hole 1 is a lot better score than I thought with those short drives, but great putting. No one else does it like that, huh?
I don't think so.
It's hard to even compare it to anyone else's style. There's, Matteo has a unique style, and Isaac Robinson has a unique style, and everyone else kind of mimics one another in some small ways.
Hole 2, par 4, 631. This one's got the OB down the right side all the way with the sidewalk, and then you have some late OB on the left, long, and right. So position play off the tee. You can't really solve this one with one shot. Big backhand drive for the right-hander. Try to draw it left a little bit into the landing zone graphic, if you will. And then it's a pretty easy approach from there if you get that part done.
This hole's interesting because it seems like one day you can have straight headwind. The very next day it could be straight tailwind. This needs to get down.
Ooh, that did skip pretty hard left, but that is not too far left. He will be in bounds.
And isn't that just the whole Waco course? I mean,
Yeah.
just going, sometimes the wind is up the river and sometimes down. And I feel like more often than not, over the course of the tournament, when we used to play here 3 rounds, you would get one day where everything was headwind going out and tailwind coming back. And then it would flip the next day and you get to see every condition when you're out there.
I don't think there's another place on tour that I can relate that to, where it's
Yeah.
usually one and then the other in subsequent days. It does that out here seemingly every year.
Nice shot.
Hole 2 is really, tee shot is such an important part of the hole here. And I think that this is one of those par 4s that you can essentially guarantee yourself a birdie, or at least a birdie look with a good drive.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not 631, not too long.
Even this is going to be, I would say, mid-level shot from here. Might be early, but gets by.
Just
A weird misrelease for
Yeah.
Anthony, though, because his drive was like super inside and not a lot of power. 'Cause to come up that short for him.
without hitting a tree, Anthony Barela has maybe never been the first person to throw the second shot on a par 4.
You're probably right about that. Not since he was about 12. And even then, it was rare.
Good shot for Isaac. Kyle going forehand low to stay away from the wind.
Needs to
Catch
hurry.
the edge. It does.
Oh, yeah.
20. No, that's fine. 18 feet.
I don't think Emerson could be in a more comfortable position for his approach.
And he leaves that one at the edge of the circle, just inside.
I think you can tell with Emerson's putting style that he is used to
Oh,
playing in
yeah.
the wind.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, that's one of those classic Texas spin putts from the side, put as many rotations, keep it flat.
Flat. That's the main thing. You don't see a lot of hyzer putters out in these open prairies.
That looks like a miss to me by the reaction of AB. It would help to know how he missed it. I'm going to guess low.
Me too.
Isaac with a birdie start. Matching Kyle's start.
Isaac's friend group makes fun of him and says he will make any single hole a straight shot, no matter what. At one point, it seems like his disc is at the point of flat release during the flight almost every single time.
The first 2 holes you'd like to be 1 under minimum, but it's not rare to see someone go 2 under. Even in the wind, it starts to get a little more challenging here, and then once we get onto 4, that's where the fun starts.
Yeah, this is just a 320-foot shot to the basket, but you have all kinds of different lanes, and with them planting some new trees there on the right, those things are growing quick. It's making the gap smaller and smaller and smaller. You're going to see probably, I'm going to guess, Isaac with an anti-release here that's going to flex back. There it is.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, and
Controls
that's
the
perfect.
ceiling.
Yeah,
that-
perfect.
That is so good.
Unbelievably good.
Aside from an ace, that is perfect.
Which you're not really trying to do.
Yeah, it's kind of better in a way. It's so precise. Look at how this thing just slides up the hill. Doesn't quite make contact. You wouldn't want to do that. That could cause a rollaway. Smartest play, slide it up to 1 inch.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Follow Flight. We did have a lot of blind catch cam shots in Florida, and everyone was concerned that we're losing Follow Flight. Trust us. We're not going to deprive you of the Follow Flight.
Ooh, and you can see that new tree catch Kyle's disc, which keeps him in the circle's edge. Oh, and this is just...
The height is my concern, but it gets under
I love it.
Yeah, okay. And it hits the bucket.
Wow.
There are some of those scraggly branches that kind of get in the way if the disc isn't driven low.
I'm curious to see what Anthony Barela is going to do after we watch this. Oh, he does catch a couple of those, Jerm.
You think Anthony with the forehand here?
I don't know. It's just like a dealer's choice for him. I wouldn't be surprised him going wide hyzer even. You know?
Yeah, he definitely backhand.
Inside flip up play.
This can work. It can get to circle's edge left.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Challenge the putt for Kyle and AB coming up.
AB's been loving that little step putt.
And Kyle's low out of the hand. See if AB can make the correction from the miss back on 2. And that one was left and a little high. If that's lower, it has a chance to maybe drop in, but...
Yeah. He was fortunate to get that same catch on hole 1. I feel like he was left and high right out of the bat. There we go for Emerson. Let's play a game. What hole is Isaac going to throw a shot where his disc is hyzer the whole way?
The new 16.
16. I was thinking 16 as
Yeah,
well.
that's a really good call.
Yeah, we have a new hole on this course. We'll get to that one on the back 9, but I can't really think of anything else. This course is so many straight shots and then slight bends. Even the shots that move left or right, you can really navigate the fairway if you go straight.
What is the simplest way to improve your disc golf game? The answer, learn from the very best. Paul Ulibarri, Simon Lizotte, Ezra Aderhold, and Holland Hanley. They're not just players, they are your elite coaches guiding you every step of the way. The Power Disc Golf Academy is the premier online disc golf academy with over 150 on-demand lessons that are specifically designed to improve your skills right now. So what are you waiting for? Join today at PowerDGA.com.
Well, this one could be it. Sexton, what we got?
Yeah, one of the signature holes on this property, I would say. Super short par 4. Hole 4 is just 441 feet. Breaks left off the tee shot, but you better not go too left as the rough on both sides is pretty nasty. Then just slightly back to the right here at the green with a little bit of a slope down to the river if you come in a little too hot. I think kind of that feathered mid-range is a really popular play. You're not really going for much more than about 260, 270. But you can also get aggressive with the forehand.
That's all hyzer, boys.
That was quick. That was quick.
Perfectly
And yeah,
placed
it's just
shot.
great. That's exactly where he wants
It's
it.
so good.
Emerson with a little.
Maybe a good result.
Yeah, I think deep right.
There's no way that disc is that stable, right?
Early left is just game over. Deep right is game over, but he's on the left side, but far enough up that he should be able to scramble, I think.
Just a little too tight for Klein, I think. Could be in a similar spot as Emerson.
So this is actually the shot that I've been really impressed with Anthony lately. He catches that early, but he's been really good with his touch putter shots.
I think he's got the full, he's got touch, he's got the putter, mid, and driver game. It's always been a matter of whether or not he can make the putts.
So this is why getting a little farther up is so important on this hole, because now where Emerson is a little bit back in the fairway, it's just not a shape that a disc really is interested in doing for you. You're going to come up short with that hyzer forehand every time. And it's pretty risky to try to bring a turnover with all these little guardian trees, because if you take a kick into the woods left late, you're not probably making par.
Kyle made that approach shot look really easy, and I tell you, there's a lot of really good things that happened there. He kept his palm up through the release. He didn't extend his follow through. He just got through the mark on that line, let the disc do the work, and the result was really nice from back there out of position.
Well, and what happens?
Watch out!
What happens is you end up leaving it short, and then it's almost a putt these guys have to run. There's no like even Kyle might be giving this a little bid.
Yeah, I think so.
Scary, but
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That was definitely an effort. The Brazos looms closely behind. Emerson's got pretty good angle to run this putt, though.
That's it. But still, I feel like even a couple of years ago, we would have seen at least one of those guys maybe just laid up.
Sure.
And AB, that one, I think he liked it. Maybe didn't love it, but I think he expected that one to go in just a little too low.
Yeah, he's really close to being like perfect. Ooh, that is not. Must have not have been a very good place right there.
Yeah, he didn't have much at all.
Yeah, there was
straight through it.
And there was at least 2 pump fakes, which you never really see from him. So
Maybe when the going gets tough,
that is full on Isaac Robinson deliberation.
Maybe it's like kind of bad luck when his disc is all on hyzer.
And then he went all Anheuser the next shot.
Yeah.
I assure you, there will be no hyzer out of his hand on the next hole. Surprised hole 4 played under par, even as short as it is. It just seems to be such a tricky one. It produces so many bogeys.
You have quite a few people at 4 under through 4 holes. That's really impressive.
Hole 5, straight shot, par 3, 264 feet, double shelf. A lot of players are just going to try to drive a mid-range into the second hill here, try to hit maybe the top of the hill just to kind of get a little bit of an Annie skip. Just try to avoid this tree in the middle, and the next tree on the left side should have a good look for birdie on this one. And you'll have your ABs out here throwing putters, but with a double shelf, I think with the low ceiling and the elevation, the mid-range helps get you there quicker.
Here's a little putter. Perfect.
Oh, man.
Boop. What a shot.
His second,
Boop.
yeah.
That looks smooth. Does it have enough legs? Looks like it.
Should. Oh, yeah.
Great shot. Good angle.
Those are usually fairway drivers when you see a player go with the forehand up the hill. Again, it's the ceiling is kind of low while also going uphill.
There's that mid-range play you were talking about, Jerm.
And counter skip almost every time.
Very good.
Good straight skip for Kyle. He's just outside bullseye.
AB going with the mid-range as
Yeah,
well.
he is.
Perfectly thrown.
Get by this
Missed
tree.
that guy.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yes, it does.
Great drives from the group. One of the easiest holes, but you still got to take care of business. And it's looking like a very likely star frame.
It is the easiest par 3 on the course.
Makes sense.
There are 3 holes easier, but they are all short par 4s.
I think I know what the hardest par 3 is now.
Yeah.
18.
18.
Yes. Well, what's the second hardest?
16.
Okay, well, what's the third hardest? Actually, I bet you wouldn't guess what the third hardest one is.
Is it that little shorty, the 210?
No, it is this hole right here, folks.
Okay.
Interesting.
I wouldn't have thought that, but 267 blind. Got to navigate this part right here. Got to get through this pinch. You really can't get right side of this gap. You got to go down the middle here. A turning backhand with either a somewhat flippy mid-range or a forehand fairway driver or mid will get you down the hill. But the line is pretty tight. And the speed has to be right going into this hillside because you can skip and go long pretty easily as well.
Inside.
Ooh.
Some guys will miss a gap and kind of show this like faux surprise that's kind of like an act. I believe Isaac Robinson is genuinely surprised
So weird you were thinking that. I was like,
when he misses a gap.
I was just thinking about his reaction to that miss. Thinking about how it felt really surprising to him. It's so funny.
So good there from
Perfect shot.
Kyle, yeah. I thought at first maybe it had a little too much juice, but perfect.
AB going Luna, I'm imagining here.
He's going to need some help off of this ground play here.
Yeah,
And
he gets it.
Yep.
Yeah. And that is just inside the circle. 2 scrambles coming.
Ooh, the tricky spot. Shouldn't be a problem, but he is going to have to go to a knee, I think, straddle out, have that annoying little 20-footer. Ooh, sidearm.
Yeah, way up high too.
High. Oh, watch
wow.
out, cameraman.
Ow. Another little annoying one.
There it is for Anthony. Getting back to form like that first hole. Had a few little putting struggles.
Yeah, I mean, 3 missed putts in a row, away from being 6 under through 6.
Yep. Certainly has been in position.
That's just what happens. I mean, I think he's the best off the tee in disc golf right now. I mean, his style is working well here on this short technical style course, and you know it works well on the golf course.
Sure.
I mean, he just won in Florida where the course was very technical.
Sure.
So if he's doing well there, I mean, and he's also throwing 780 feet. I mean, he's just tearing the courses apart.
Not an easy job to design one that would slow him down, that's for sure. 6 under through 6.
Greg
for
Barsby,
3 players.
James Conrad, Chris Dickerson. Wow.
Hole 7, another short par 4, 462 feet. Early mandatory forces you right. Then you want to hit this gap with a backhand just moving left if you're playing for a birdie. If you're thinking about getting a little more aggressive, there is the option of playing the forehand turnover that's going to swing back right late, and it is possible to find yourself down in this little bowl with this exact look up the hill, as we just saw from the camera, for eagle.
Easiest hole on the course. Every year you see at least a couple of eagles per round.
That actually surprises me that this one is easier than, say, 13 or 15.
15, yeah, 15's. But you just get the twos here.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just produces
Sure.
the eagles.
Sure. It's shorter.
AB going for the flex forehand. The height was just never going to allow it to get there. But drops down in the middle of the fairway. Birdie is still very much in play.
Yeah, that's a great reaction. You don't want to see that thing swing into the woods. Just getting down in the short grass, you have all the opportunity you need to cross the gully.
That's so far left, he might be throwing forehand Anheuser into the green for the best angle.
Yeah, and that's number 2.
This is
Of all
a
Heiser.
humdinger.
Yeah, Emerson's got some heat behind it, and it's all the way down into the ditch.
Roll.
And it rolls forward.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Just outside the circle for Emerson for eagle.
Fantastic shot.
And you even have that little backstop behind it, so you can get a little frisky and try to run it if you like.
Yeah. It's definitely the best play. You leave it a little shorter, you're messing with those big railroad ties. You may be rolling down. Mm-hmm. You can
These
fire
ones?
this one in.
Yeah, that one right there.
That one. Yeah, that's the one. But it looked to be like pretty well done. I don't think that rolled.
Kyle goes forehand Anheuser from a better angle, and Isaac's still sticking with the backhand. This is a very tight line from that angle, but just dissects it and almost makes it. Unreal.
And it sits perfectly. Nice.
That is such a narrow path a disc has to travel on to not hit anything and still almost go in. What a shot.
Okay, here we go for eagle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Count it high and in.
That's awesome.
Nice little catch here on the right side. Here's a great perspective of what he's looking at. Get left, get left, get left.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That is a great catch.
Oh my goodness.
Got a high spin rate. Kind of grabs that chain at the top. I think a floppier putt hitting there is
That's how you get an eagle to stay in on this basket. You don't want to hit it dead center. You want to hit it high right with spin, and then it stays in. Sorry.
I think you'd like to have it dead center.
It's better than a star frame. Better. Look at that extension.
What do you call that, Jerm?
I call that one a galaxy frame, and then if everyone eagles, then it's a universal frame.
Whew. And it, of course, needs to be redesigned.
Yes, exactly.
Hole 8 is a little dinker here. 213 par 3, but this one will stand the test of time on this course because of how tricky it really is. It's very narrow, very low ceiling, and you have a very steep slope on the right side. This is your classic putter, nose up, slide it up to the basket with some touch, or sidearm Anheuser with a stable putter.
Shortest hole on tour.
Little check-in with one Ricky Wysocki straight down the middle of the fairway, sliding home. Perfect shot there, showing you that little forehand Annie with stability.
Got to see a little Adam Hammis ace last year on lead card last round. Fireworks. Emerson Keith, eagle, and then a park job. Getting things going here. That's going to bring him to 6 under through 8.
I think it kind of ticked Emerson off when we showed that Rick highlight. He wanted to just get it even a little closer.
Oh, this is the ace run line over the top of the basket,
Oh,
Kyle,
what a
and the
little
rebound.
Sweet. Don't even pay the price.
Yeah, what a little reaction there. That's awesome. That was going in the next fairway.
Very common. It's hard to get the touch and the low ceiling and the down the tunnel all perfect. A lot of players you'll see just trying to throw something hard through there and hopefully they get to the ground and just slide up to the pin. But every once in a while you get over that ridge.
I feel like this dude will take a stab at it. Like we always say, he's so confident with his gap hitting that he's so willing to attack the high portion of the gap. I think he's one of the few guys that can sort of like comfortably come in here chain high.
AB falling forward
I mean, what
outside
a
the
putt.
circle.
Look at that. That is just so dirty right
Yeah,
there.
and
That's
especially with the
full-on death
speed,
putt.
the speed he putts at. I mean, this is going outside circle for sure if he airballs, and
That
he
is
does
so
not
nasty.
airball.
No.
Absolutely perfect location.
Just a great putt right there.
Conrad's still perfect. He's 7 through 7.
Good putt there, taking advantage of the good backstop. I had an ace on my card from Thomas.
Yeah.
Hootnainen.
Tuomas.
Oh, in this hole.
Yeah.
Thomas
Hootnainen.
Hootnainen.
Pretty close. You almost got it.
I actually totally meant to give little props to our buddy Jake Wolf, who aced hole 5.
Yeah.
Couple aces, and that one was on film. Was yours on film?
No.
No one got that one.
I don't think so.
Well, congrats, Thomas. Couple aces first round, both on the front 9.
His was exactly like Kyle's, though, just ripped.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, though, no doubt about it.
Hole 9 is such a bruiser. This is such a challenging hole. They've made it a little bit more attackable by taking down an early low ceiling forcing branch, but you want to get down to this bowl with a backhand, maybe a forehand that turns over late. From there, it is a pretty technical yet short approach. Dogleg right, classic par 4. Used to be par 5, but I think back in the par 5 days, there were a few more trees down the middle of the fairway.
Certainly a better hole as a par 4.
I totally agree.
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
This is just...
That's the best skip ever, and it may be too long now.
Wow.
I don't think Emerson's going to have a good angle to the pin now.
He'll have that overstable forehand Annie, I think, that he's pretty comfortable with.
Sure, but there's just a big, ugly scraggle tree that's just going to cause him fits.
Yes.
Early tree kick for Kyle. That's going to be left side rough. Scramble City coming.
Woo! Close shave. Good result, really, in the end. I mean, par still super attainable from there. If you get into the rough, you can't really say that anymore.
I don't think I want anybody else throwing this for me except for this guy. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah, it did turn out fine, even with the...
I mean, he just hit the gap that you're supposed to hit
absolutely.
just by a mile. Going with the overstable putter shot, and this looks great.
As long as it has enough forward push, I think it did.
Might have been early, you're right. His reaction was saying that it was early. Also looks fantastic right there.
Yeah, good spot.
Perfect. Now you can kind of see the challenge of the second shot.
Gotta miss those. Oh my
That
God.
is so good.
Found a way. I don't think that's what he meant to do, but
The result, I mean.
yeah, the result is great.
Just to throw a backhand from that spot and then be up there.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
You did it. It's just with the slope, the way it slopes right to left, and with the trees the way they are, like I could throw backhand for 100 years. I would never, ever try that backhand. I'd just a forehand every time.
And you can see how bad a spot Anthony got himself to. It wasn't a terrible looking shot, but in that short corner, there's no way that you're getting up to the basket.
Ooh,
Emerson actually goes inside the scraggle tree because he's so far. That's one thing I don't necessarily love about hole 9. That drive is just such an incredible amount of distance. It actually goes against him.
for birdie.
This would be an incredible way to finish the front 9 if he can make this. Yeah. Too many Guardians on that right side.
Great save right there. What a putt. Testy little bugger.
Solid front 9 for Kyle. Did it kind of quietly, didn't he?
Yeah. I think everybody's going to be semi-happy with their front 9 here. Anthony will take the bogey. He'll be a couple back of these guys. I mean, Isaac's about to go to 7, which is amazing.
7, and he was primed for the birdie on hole 4. The approach just got a little hot there, squibbled down the hill, and had an obstructed putt, almost getting the 8 under. But a couple players were able to get the 8 unders. His brother is one of them.
Wow.
Just one par on the front for Ezra. Was that James Conrad at 8 under as well?
Yeah. I'm not
some
really
great
surprised. You know, we're not surprised to see scores this good. This is kind of the way this tournament goes, but Interesting to see who's able to kind of come out of the gates quickly, deal with the wind, put themselves in position to be up on those lead cards coming into the next day.
If this were an XL, I'd be wearing it right now, folks. I'm not kidding. I like this shirt a lot. I'm going to be getting one of these.
I mean, look at how many people at 5 under right there. That was a ton. That was fun, guys.
Want to do it again? Maybe 9 more?
All right, let's get after it.
Let's do it.